This is part 2 of how my dad forced me into getting an abortion. So like I said before, my dad lied to me and told me we were going to the doctor to see how far along I was. And when I get there, turns out he sent me to an abortion clinic. I got upset asking what was he trying to do. He explains to me why I shouldn't have the baby. He tells me if I ever have the child, he would never support me and that he will kick me out of the house. And that sooner or later, me and Jason would break up, which he was sort of right about. I felt like at this moment I had no help, and I told my dad I wanted to call Jason. So he gave me $1 to make a call on the payphone, and he didn't pick up. My dad explains to me that he's not reliable and that this will be the best decision for the both of us. I thought I didn't have a choice, and he manipulated and gaslighted me into getting it, which I didn't know what he was doing at the time, but I got the abortion, and right after, I felt so numb. I couldn't even face Jason, so my dad lied and told him that I had a miscarriage. It's been years since then, and I still have regrets knowing who my child could have been. Wait, stop! Don't scroll. Send this to your friend before they watch it. Wait. I just wasted your time. Have a good day. Story time on how my dad forced me into getting an abortion. And to this day, we still don't speak. So I started dating my boyfriend, Jason, when I was 15. My parents never really minded me having a boyfriend until I got with Jason. He graduated high school, and my dad didn't like the fact that he wasn't planning on going to college. He said that he was wasting his life, but in all honesty, my dad was upset because he was poor and he felt as though he could never take care of me. There were times when my dad tried to pay him to break up with me, but he'd never take the money. And for me, that was just so embarrassing. Right before my 16th birthday, I found out I got pregnant, and I was kind of happy about it, even though I was still in high school. I've seen plenty of girls making it work. I, of course, told my boyfriend, and we told our family, but my dad wasn't happy about it. About a week later, he told me we were going to the doctors to go see how far along I was. When I get there, I found out I was in an abortion clinic. If you want to know what happened after that, let me know down below in the comments. So growing up, me and my mom didn't have the best relationship, which is the reason why we aren't close. My mom was a single parent. She had me at 14. I have never met my dad before, and whenever I tried to talk about him, she'd get really upset and tell me that he didn't want me and that I will never meet him, so stop asking. She'd tell me that I was a mistake and that I shouldn't exist. I was at one point where I thought if my own parents didn't want me, no one would. She refused to ever give me hugs and kisses. She never showed me that she loved me. And I went through my whole life thinking that she hated me, and I didn't understand why. And it's sad because I can't even remember a time where she told me that she loved me. I felt like times she couldn't even look at me, and I questioned my whole life. What's wrong with me? Until I found out the craziest news, and it was that she birthed a child of her, and she couldn't truly bear loving me. But I will always love you. This is part 2 of how I got caught cheating on my boyfriend with his brother. So, like I said earlier, I go to their house to go see his brother, and we got it on. And that day, I really thought he had football practice. But no, he came straight home and walked in on us. When he came in, he grabbed the covers off of us, and he literally starts fighting his brother. Then comes over to me and drags me into the hallway, throws all my clothes at me, calling me all types of names and telling me to get the hell out. He then ran and stormed out of the house. And to be honest, the whole time I wasn't even mad. I was glad he caught me cheating on him. Finally gave him a taste of his own medicine. Story time of how I got caught cheating on my boyfriend with his brother. So me and my boyfriend at the time were on and off. Our relationship was really toxic, and I was tired of the whole relationship. And everything started to go downhill when he cheated on me and I took him back. I know, stupid, but I really wanted us to work, so I stayed with him. But throughout the relationship, I was very insecure. I constantly thought he was cheating on me, so I started talking to other guys. One of them being his brother. And his brother was the biggest player of them all, but I didn't care as long as I wasn't stressed about what my boyfriend was doing. So one day after school, I met up with his brother at his house and we got it on. I thought that day he had football practice, but no, he came straight home and walked in on us. If y'all want to know what happened after that, let me know down below in the comments. This is part 3 from my toxic ex-best friend got me jumped. So like I said, I walk outside and everyone is gathered around. I walk up to one of them saying, "Oh, the rumors that they heard aren't true." One of my friends said, "You know what you said," and pulled into my hair, and at that moment I tried to swing back, but I just get jumped on, and they literally jumped me. After the whole thing was over, my best friend Alexis helped me. We went to her house and she cleaned me up and said that those girls were fake and that I should have listened to her earlier about not being friends with them. And I was confused on why she was helping me because she laughed in my face when I asked about it. But I left it alone because at least she was helping me and maybe she was right. Fast forward 2 weeks later, one of my friends who jumped me reached out to me apologizing. I asked her why and who even told you I was talking badly about you. Guys, believe it or not, after I get done speaking with her, I found out that my best friend Alexis lied and told them I was talking badly about them, and the girl even sent fake screenshots of messages between me and her. This is part 2 of how my toxic ex-best friend got me jumped. So, like I said before, this kid comes up to me telling me there's a rumor going around saying I was talking mad crazy about my friends and that they were planning on jumping me after school. And in my head, I'm like, so that's why nobody's talking to me? So I went to my best friend at the time, which started the whole mess, and I didn't know. I asked her if she heard anything about this going around, about them wanting to jump me after school. She laughs at me and says I should have kept my mouth shut. I get completely irritated because it's like now I don't have her support. After school comes and everybody quickly runs outside. Me, I'm stalling. I'm very slow at my locker. When I come outside, all of my friends are lined up and everyone gathered to see what was about to go down. I'm running out of time. Y'all let me know down below in the comments if y'all want a part 3. Story time of how my toxic ex-best friend got me jumped. By the way, we're calling her Alexis. So me and Alexis have been friends since we were babies. Our moms were best friends and they sent us to the same school, had the same friends and everything. But the thing with Alexis is that she was super jealous and insecure. Whenever I did anything without her, she'd get very controlling. We got to high school, we started to drift apart, and I made new friends. But like after school, she'd always tell me that she didn't like my friends and that I'd be better off finding prettier friends. I would tell her, yeah, they might not be the most prettiest, but I like them. One day when I go to school, all of my friends are ignoring me and are giving me dirty looks. When I go to lunch, one of the most annoying boys walks up to me and tells me there's a rumor going around saying I was talking mad crazy about my friends and that they were planning on jumping me after school. If you want to know what happened after that, let me know down below. This is part 4 of how my best friend's older brother tried to secretly date me. I was 13 and he was 24. So he was completely unclothed and everything was off. And he was insinuating that we were going to do something. I try to run out of the room and he stops me from leaving. I told him I wanted to go back to bed with my best friend. He's like, "You're my girl and you're staying with me." I started to get really grossed out because he started to get very aggressive. And I was so confused on what was happening, so I just screamed. And he gets so mad at me. My best friend's mom yelled out, "Is everything okay?" And he lets me out of the room. I walk into the hallway and I told her I just stumped my toe. Then I went back into my best friend's room like nothing ever happened. And still to this day, I never told anyone until now. This is part 3 of how my best friend's older brother tried to secretly date me. I was 13 and he was 24. So like I said, he told me I should be sleeping in his bedroom and pulled me into his room. I was a little nervous because I've never been alone with a guy. When I go to sit down on his computer chair, he locks his bedroom door. He walks over to me, picks me up, and sits me onto his bed. I was like, I'm okay, I can sit on the chair. And he shushes me with his finger to be quiet. Then out of nowhere, he starts taking all of his clothes off, and I mean everything. I asked him, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Come on, I know this is what you want." And I was like, "No." And I told him I was going back to bed. I get up to walk to the door and he stops me from getting out and holds onto the door. If y'all want to know what happened after that, let me know down below in the comments. This is part 2 of how my best friend older brother tried to secretly date me. And I was 13 and he was 24. So he messages me asking for me to be his girlfriend and to send nudes. I told him I didn't feel comfortable doing that, but he said if I did not, he was going to break up with me. So I was dumb and I went ahead and sent them because that's what I thought you're supposed to do when you get into a relationship. So for a couple of weeks, we'd text, he'd call me once in a while. My best friend at one point asked me if I wanted to sleep over for the weekend, so I packed my bags and I came over. In the middle of the night, I got really thirsty, so I went to the kitchen to go get some water. As I'm drinking, out of nowhere, something squeezes my breast, and I, of course, got really scared and screamed. I turn around, and it's my best friend, older brother. He tells me, why was I sleeping in her room when I could have just been sleeping with him? And then he pulls me into his bedroom. Now, this is when it gets really crazy. Like for part 3. This story time is from a follower, and she really needs advice. By the way, we're calling her Catherine, and she's 15. So, Catherine has one arm, and she had to get her right arm removed due to health conditions. She just started going to a new school because her family moved. She has been there for 3 weeks, and she tried to make new friends, but it seems like every person that she has tried to talk to slowly stops talking to her. Like this one girl, which we're going to call Layla. Catherine talked about her just about every day for the past 2 weeks, but then on the 3rd week, she completely stopped talking to her. Like, she wouldn't even say hi. It was like she was avoiding her, and she couldn't understand why. She says she gets nasty stares in school, and sometimes people laugh behind her back. Catherine said it seems like no one wants to be next to her. She feels alone, and she has started going to the bathroom during lunchtime because she didn't want to look weird sitting alone during lunchtime. She says she needs advice on trying to make new friends, and she really just wants to fit in. So comment down below some advice.